Hey everyone, welcome to your favorite show, Extra Step. You're here with your favorite person in the world, the Dwayne Casey hater. Okay.
And Derwin, how's everyone doing today? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Why you just say Durham? Why don't you just sound a little, get
Why
the,
can't I say Derwin? That's my name.
be like, like yo, you're super duper, the craziest brown guy in the world.
Well,
named Durham.
everybody that knows me personally knows that I am the craziest brown guy in the world. So,
What?
I mean, we'll see the rest of the audience, and then we'll let them decide.
Yeah, I think you know who's crazy. The black guy. Come on,
Yeah.
man. Psycho. Anyways.
Okay, I meant crazy in a good way. I meant crazy in a good way.
Sure.
Him crazy for sure, because he is crazy.
I am a little psychopath. But yes, no. Let's get back onto the point. We talk basketball on the show, and this playoffs has been pretty interesting. We're in the second round now.
Second round just started. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been wrong on a couple picks already. As usual, just say NCAA. The bracket has screwed me over. I know it's been blessing you as usual.
Well, no, I didn't think I think the Denver series was the only series where I had made a pick that I was like I stood by it even when they were down in the series when they were down 2-1 in the series.
You called it. You said Denver
they came back and
seven.
they won in 7, right? So that's what I like to see. But I'll give a lot of props to that whole series because it was a dead on series. But a series that I had no idea. Well, I wouldn't say no idea, but I didn't think that what was gonna happen was that the Clippers ended up stealing another game against the Warriors, and they made that series super interesting.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. Like honestly, like the Clippers impressed me.
Yeah,
I really like Doc Rivers. I think he's now the new top coach in the NBA because for you to do that on that program after trading All-Star after All-Star after All-Star.
After they traded away Tobias Harris, I thought that was like
They
had kind of given up. Like they were like, okay, we'll go into a small rebuild.
Okay. Rightfully so.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because they
rightfully so,
would have,
then-
if they didn't make the playoffs, they would have got back their first rounder from Boston.
Yeah.
Because obviously they didn't want Boston to finesse their way for Anthony Davis as a sweepstakes going down this summer. But I really like that, they fought through, they played hard. And, Lou Will, man, that guy's a monster.
Oh,
like, that guy
goodness.
could drop 30
Oh,
on you when he
my
wants. Like, just seeing him go at it and the win in their building twice, that's not something a lot of people can say they can do. But, yeah, they lost
I have such utmost respect for Lou Williams, other than the fact that I don't think he's the best defender, but that's because he's small. So I'll give him that. But
He only plays offense.
offensively, he's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you heard one of his comments after the press conference. They asked him. They said like, "You're such a good sixth man. Like, why didn't you ever become a starter?"
Yeah.
And his response was, "I was never offered that role. Like, I was always offered, hey, do you want to be the sixth, seventh man?" And that's who I became, and that's who I had to make sure that would work out for him. Look how well he's still doing at 32 years old.
Yeah, no, like this guy, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah,
like he's the greatest six man in playoff history, and let's be real, probably NBA history.
And I mean, I would think they might think about changing the six man award to the Lou Williams award.
Oh, it will be.
But I don't know because like
It will be.
he's actually only won 2, which is very shocking.
He's about to win 3.
But yeah, he'll win the third
And he's
one.
probably gonna win 4.
You think he's
Gonna win 4. He's probably gonna win maybe like 1 more, even maybe 2 more.
If he stays on the Clippers, it's a possibility.
Or if he goes back to the
Absolutely.
Rockets, because the Rockets had him, and I don't know why.
No, I don't know why the Rockets.
'Cause-
They didn't use him properly.
Well, no, because if you had him on that roster, like imagine him and Harden together right now going against Golden State.
But then
I'd be terrified if I was the
No,
Warriors.
but then when Lou Williams was on that roster, they had Aaron Gordon as technically their sixth.
Eric Gordon, not Aaron.
Sorry, Aaron.
Button that other light skin. You got your trail.
Not Aaron, not from Orlando.
No, he's
Eric
a good
Gordon
player.
from the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
Like he's their sixth man, right? He comes off the bench. He plays their major scoring role off the bench. I felt like when Lou was on that team, he didn't have that ability to play to his fullest abilities.
Like, I mean, no, that's so true. And honestly, like when you look at now the series that's about to happen with,
It's happening right now.
It's happening right now with the Rockets and Warriors, and I mean that series is about to be a nail biter every game.
Yeah.
Not having guys like a Lou Will on your team, only having James Harden, Chris Paul, and Eric Gordon. Do you think the Rockets really have a chance to beat the Warriors?
See, like, okay, in our first time when we talked about the Warriors, I said like they would get another easy trip to the finals because they had Boogie. Like DeMarcus is almost unguardable. Like you're gonna put Clint Capella on him for most of the series, and in a pick and roll, he's always gonna Clint is always gonna fall back. Then what are you gonna do? You're gonna settle for DeMarcus Cousins 3, or better yet, DeMarcus Cousins taking it to the rim. You're not gonna be able to guard that. But now that Boogie's out of the playoffs, I don't know, man. This series could go 7.
It's
and
going 7.
I can see the Warriors. I can see the Rockets stealing this one.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like the Warriors have had that lucky loony or whatever you want to call it, that clover leaf under their shoe the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think it's gone. They're not the same team anymore. Even game 1, they barely won that game.
Yeah.
And if they call that a foul, then the game probably goes into overtime.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And to get back to Boogie Cousins' point, I think the Rockets would have beat them anyways because I think Boogie makes that team. It makes the Warriors more vulnerable because they have to slow down their pace. They can't do the whole, setting off ball screens constantly. Like when you go small ball or they're Hampton 5, whatever, the waste man 5, I like to call it. It's easier to kind of move the ball and, have some freedom in their offense. With Boogie, you kind of have like your one big and then you have...
But then like other teams are also, the other teams are also preparing for what Boogie is going to bring, which is going to be that high screen and roll that they're always going to run with Boogie. Once he comes off that pick, he's almost unguardable because then you don't know if the guard is going to take him or you don't know if your center is going to take him. And then when it comes to a pick and pop, he's got a shot. There's no doubt about it. So how much would he have used his shot in the series? Probably a lot.
Probably, but I just think watching how the Rockets like to play, the Rockets like to shoot a lot of threes as well.
Yeah.
But James Harden and the Funky Bunch love playing a slow pace offense. They like half court, okay, ISO.
Harden. That's James Harden's game.
To me, and to me, like if the Warriors were to have Boogie Cousins right now, that would have played favorite in the Rockets and what they want to do instead of just slowing down the game and going possession by possession. But you know what? I look at this series and from game 1, I think we both understand.
What did you think about like the certain no calls? Because I know after the game, the Rockets franchise.
They weren't calls. They weren't fouls.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. I don't understand.
Flop like a fish and see if you'll get something. That's what James Harden is doing. Like he's flopping. Like he looks like a fish every time he shoots now.
And then he always has that leg kick, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like why we still alive now? The NBA 7-8 years ago they made a rule that when you jump as a shooter, if you're jumping in your area, you have that right to land in that area. So your defender can't get in that area. What happened with Kawhi a couple of years ago when Zaza had that closeout.
Yeah.
Now we made that rule and now it's starting to benefit the offensive player too much. Because every time he throws a leg kick out, he gets a foul.
It's an offensive game, man. Like
I totally get that. But like even the Raptors Philadelphia game 2, you saw Jimmy Butler do it twice, where he went up, he was in his space, and then all of a sudden he decided to throw one leg out, foul call. And then that's a big shift. You know what I mean? Like they were only down by 6 at the time. Now Jimmy Butler hits that 3, they're down by 9. He has the and 1. 4-point play becomes a 10-point lead, right? That's all I'm saying is that, like, if we're going to protect our offensive players, I get that, but the defensive players have to have that ability to make those decisions, whether or not, like, it's a foul. Like, it's not a foul. Like, I just don't see how that was a foul.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a foul. I think the Warriors and Rockets going to be bitching all series.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, like, it's just going to be a complaining series.
I still think the Rockets are going to win. I think this is the year the Warriors are going to lose. Usually, I watched some clips on YouTube, and I watched this series on, I forgot what it's called, but it's something called Collapse. And, different dynasties that collapse with different sports. And you look at the Chicago Bulls, like, there's never, I think you said even before, the teams that win 3 titles, they don't come back from that. You win your 3 titles, you're done. Now, if the Warriors win this year, they break that stigma. Yeah. They change the narrative now on dynasties that can win forever. They could go back to the Southern days because that's like I think the last team that won like at least 4 titles within like 5 or 6 years.
Well, I mean we're talking about like the 60s, no?
Yeah, but hey, regardless, it's a basketball era where you were playing to win, right? And there was some talented teams in that time.
Yeah.
St. Louis, they're racist as hell on that team. After when I heard what they used to do to my boy Bill Russell, and then you had teams like even Wilt on being an all-star. But either way, I just know that this series is gonna be great. These teams are gonna go at it. KD is on a roll. This guy cannot be stopped right now.
He's definitely the best player in the league.
Yeah. I
don't know. There's a question. Well, okay, sorry. In the playoffs,
he's the best scorer in the league. I wouldn't see
he's the best. He's the best scorer in the playoffs. How about that?
Yeah.
Let me reword that.
Because the best player I'm gonna talk about later, and I'm gonna let you know who he is. I don't hear it from nobody.
Is it on the other side, on the Rocket side? Is that what we're talking about? No. All right.
Nope. He's on that north side. But
fair enough.
But I want to talk about Utah quickly
Before
we move on, because what do you think they got to do going forward now? Like,
I think they still need another like option on offense. Like obviously Donovan Mitchell, future All-Star, future Hall of Famer if he keeps developing the way he's playing. His ability to score at will for a guy who's 5'11".
Who's 5'11"?
How tall is Donovan Mitchell?
He's like 6'5".
No, he's not 6'5".
He's like 6. Yo, check that, Johnson. He's like 6'3", 6'5", around there.
I was good with 6'1", but like
he ain't 6'1". He's a shooting guard.
Okay, so you can't.
He's dunking on man.
Because he's got buddies. How can he be like?
He got buddies, but he ain't that.
Kyle Lowry is 6'1", but you don't see him dunking.
Yeah, he ain't 6'1". He's 6 foot. I ain't giving him that inch. Right? I've seen Lowry before going to the Raptors game. I just. You're a bean for that.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah.
Is 6'2".
Okay, so alright, so
really?
6'2".
Yeah, he looks a lot bigger than that on the court.
Okay, but still, sorry, going back to the Utah, and like they have Joe Ingles, which I think he was invisible throughout the 5 games against the Rockets.
Like, they have a good team built there. They just need, like you said, a second guy.
Yeah.
I think they need to make some trades. I think Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
Right? He needs to go. Oh, Ricky Rubio.
Sorry, Ricky
Rubio.
That was like
Marco Rubio. He might have been my own teammate, boss. But, I think Ricky needs to go. And they need to get a better point guard. I think Mike Conley should be on their still wish list.
Well, I don't know if you heard about during the trade deadline that Mike Conley was almost a Utah Jazz.
Yeah, but
they just couldn't figure out the details.
Exactly.
Now that you think about it, like imagine Utah with Mike Conley going into the Rockets series. That's not a sweep bet anymore.
You could build a big three with Gobert,
Mitchell,
Donovan, and Conley, and that's a team that. I say you get top 4 in the West, and when it gets to the playoffs, then you compete and try your way.
I think maybe they even get home court advantage because of getting Mike Conley, that they get those couple extra wins over the Rockets.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother series.
Yeah, that's a whole next series, and I know there's a next series you want to talk about because you were right on it, and I know I said San Antonio's gonna win, they didn't. Popovich versus Michael Malone. I think what we learned from this series, or that series, with San Antonio and Denver, is that Pop is getting old.
Yeah.
They messed up on their final play. I don't know if you saw. Beat down by 4, not fouling. What are you doing?
On the court yelling at them.
What do you listen? I'm a coach too, and I've made my mistakes. We just came from Montreal this last weekend, and I'll own up. I made my mistakes too. But my dude, you're at the NBA level. How you not telling players to foul? And yes, there's maybe like a 3 to 4 second differential to the shot clock, but there's like 15 seconds left, and you're gonna let these guys drill out. You're on my floor.
They don't realize that they could have still made that a game. I'm sorry, they're only down by 4.
They could have fouled if they make their free throws. You're down by 6. You hit a 3. You foul again. If you get lucky, you miss 2 free throws. You tie the game. But hey, I guess he didn't want to win.
Okay, so then, no, I mean like it's not. I don't know if it's they didn't want to win. It's just so then does Pop come back for a couple more years?
Well, the rumor is that he's negotiating right now contract. I think, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say this about his life. Understand that his wife has passed away. Mm-hmm. Usually in that situation, not saying he has nothing to live for. He does, obviously.
Well,
but
I mean, at the NBA...
His life's not busy. So I think he's going to look forward to maybe coming back for 2 more years. You look like guys like Derek White on that roster. Murray, who's going to come back next year fully healthy. You got DeRozan still. You got Rudy Gay. LaMarcus Aldridge. They honestly have a team that...
who's that big white boy?
Bartan or whatever.
Bartanis or something like that.
Yep. The next, what is he, Ginger, right?
Yeah,
the next Red Rocket. He's the next Red Rocket. He's doing it up. He's splash.
Yeah.
He's splash. He gets that ball.
He's definitely
He's hits. You can't stop him.
Okay, so what about the last series between Portland and OKC? What did you think about that?
Okay, so...
Especially because you're
Shut up.
Since you're an OKC fan.
I want the floor. Okay?
God, you can
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it, and that's it. I was an OKC fan. I still love that city. It's a great organization. Sam Presti's one of the best in the business. But Westbrook has failed me. And I am no longer a Westbrook fan. His leadership during this playoffs was terrible. His gameplay was terrible in this playoffs. He did nothing to do to help. He did nothing to help Paul George. All he did was yap, yap, yap to Damon, and he just kept making Damon hungrier and hungrier. Damon is the right type of player out here.
That's a leader. That's a good point guard.
Right? He wants to go out there and just play ball and do it for his team. I respect that a lot. I didn't think he was that type of guy. I thought he was a guy that was, game time, and that was it.
Yeah, a little bit timid at some point.
At some points,
but clearly now that he's a second buzzer beater to win a series, he's kind of marked his name in history.
Yeah, so that's why I say I like Portland. I see where they're going in this next series. OKC, y'all, they need to trade Westbrook.
I don't think that's gonna.
It has to happen because I think everyone's noticed that team is a good team still. But if Westbrook doesn't find a jump shot and he doesn't change the way he's playing, this team will not win a championship.
So I'm curious to know if what Westbrook did in the regular season, having a third year in a row where he averaged a triple double, which is ridiculous enough for me to say this. A third year in a row that a player, and then he gets to the playoffs and he just switches a button where he doesn't play anything like that. All he wants to do is pull, and then be this player that might be a hero or might not be have good veteran leadership qualities. I don't know what happened to him in that series, but I will say this. It's a couple years now we've seen this. Since Kevin Durant has left, he's been a good leader in the regular season, but when we get to the postseason, he won 2 games. The first year Durant wasn't there. Last year they won 1. This year they won 1. Come on. You're telling me you're one of the better point guards in our league and you can't lead an OKC team, which was a lot better than your first season without Kevin Durant. I remember their first season without Kevin Durant. That was a bunch of scrubs and then Westbrook.
Yeah, you think that Westbrook can put him in PG right now?
Yeah, that's a different story.
But I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe fatherhood got to him, and his aggression went down. I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe he's had too many distractions. But this man needs to change his game, and it starts with a jump shot. And they need to build something around. Like, Dennis Schroeder, good to keep. I think he's a great player there.
He'll be a good 6 man for him.
If I am OKC, I'm looking at that roster and saying someone has to go. And PG's got, 2 more years left?
Yeah, because he's had 4 years, right?
No, he's had
a 4 year, and then the 4th year is his player option. So 3-year deal. So he's already in his first year.
So, yeah, he's gone.
He's got 1 more, and then
player option, he's leaving. He's only keeping that if he gets hurt.
Or if they get good next season.
Yes.
It's possible.
He's gone. He's gone.
Nah, but we've seen it where teams have bad couple of years and then they make one small little adjustment and then they end up.
The small adjustment would have to be Durant. That's the only way they're gonna win. You look at that roster from top to bottom. There's no one else that can step up to be that third guy. You could have 2 guys on a roster, but it's very hard to coach a team. Right, to make your whole team as a third. Like, look at the Raptors now. Like, when you have Lowry, Siakam, and Kawhi go off, that's your 3 guys. Yeah. You can roll with that.
Yeah,
every other team has 3 guys.
When you have Kyle not playing at his 100%, we definitely look at the.
This is how it goes down in the NBA. You have 1 star, you'll fight for playoffs. You have 2 stars, you'll finish top 4 in the conference and have a very good regular season. You have 3 players, you can go deep in the playoffs, right? And then that's it. And then you have your 6 guys.
If you have 4 stars.
If you have 4 stars, you're slapping everybody, right?
Like so Golden State did.
Exactly. So that's how it works in the NBA, right? That's why Charlotte didn't survive, right? You look at who else had 1 star and try to go forward. Phoenix with Devin Booker. He ain't going nowhere.
I think there's a different story in Phoenix because they're so young, and you can't put a. I mean, you can because he's 23 right now. He's been in the league a couple of years, but
that team's a joke. They're not talking about.
Well, if the Phoenix Suns do end up drafting Jay Morant in the draft this year, I mean, they're gonna be scary. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Well, what I want to see happen is Portland beating Denver in 6 games.
Okay, I'm gonna take Denver in 7 again. It's nothing to do with luck or whatever. I just think that when you put when Nikola Jokic is playing a very good game, he's unguardable as a center. Okay? I know he's not the most athletic, but his IQ, his vision is right above. Is right up there with one of with top guards in our league.
Yeah.
So the fact that a center and again we talked about Portland, who's their best center right now? Enes
Yeah,
Kanter,
Enes Kanter.
right? So I mean, he's gonna be physical with him. That makes sense because that's Enes Kanter's game. But after that, like what did Joker did in his first game? He dropped 37, 6 and 5.
Yeah, but the man he's defending dropped 26 on his head. So when you look at that, when Enes Kanter gets 20 points plus, and if CJ gets out of his shell and starts scoring 20 plus, you're not beating them.
That's true.
Because he only has 17.
But then I can say the same thing about Jamal Murray.
He had 23 points. That's his game.
But I can say no. But that's what I mean. Like Jamal Murray and Gary Harris, if they start to wake up and they start to drop 30 piece every night.
Gary Harris ain't dropping no 30 piece a night. Like Gary Harris is a great player. He's a good player, not great.
I meant Jamal Murray. Sorry.
But Jamal Murray.
But Gary Harris being your third option even.
He is their third option.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Look at the two teams, right? They both have their three options, right? CJ, Dame, Kanter versus Jamal, Harris, and Joker. Joker versus Kanter, Joker wins.
Of course.
Well, when you go to the guard play, if you have CJ going off like he likes to with Dame, ain't no backcourt that can keep them. Look, they just went against pretty much one of the best backcourts in the NBA. Defensively. The PG and Westbrook, and they got put in their place. You're telling me Jamal Murray and Gary Harris gonna stop them for a whole goddamn series? It's not happening.
I don't think so, but like you've seen in the playoffs, players have luck games where they just come out of nowhere. They'll drop a nice like 20, 23, 24 points.
Okay.
Their team ends up winning, and like what can you say then, right? Your team wins. You're up in the series. Right now they are, at least they're up 1-0, but I mean it was only the first game. There's a lot of things that this series could be another nail biter for sure.
It will, but I'm picking. I'm going by Portland. I know you're going Denver in 7. You said
And 7. Yeah.
7 is guy in 7 in Denver, huh? 7 in Denver. Is that you're going to try to go 7-7-7?
No, absolutely not. I don't know. I just thought that's what
no.
good strategy.
No.
It's actually because the Denver doesn't. I don't see Denver sweeping it. That's not happening. Like, let's be honest. Realistically, if I'm gonna say like that's the series is going 7. There's no doubt about it. Well, you think it's 6. I think personally it's going 7. So.
I think Portland can
okay,
have
so
5.
now we're pushing.
But it won't. It's gonna go. It's gonna go 6, and Portland will sweep them right out of the building. Obviously not sweep, but they'll get the broom and be like, you get a little nudge. You get a little nudge. Not full sweep. You get a little nudge out the building. But you know what? It's gonna be an interesting series. I know the next series we about to talk about out in the East.
That'll be out of the East. Yeah.
It's a fun series, and I can't wait to talk this with you because we both have different opinions.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask you this question: do you really believe Milwaukee's gonna win this series?
Okay, so before the playoffs started, I will say this: I thought it was gonna be a Milwaukee-Toronto Eastern Conference Finals. Wow. I will tell you that. Now, in the recent weeks before the playoffs started, you could see a little bit of vibes maybe in Boston where players are starting to figure out their own. They're trying to figure out their own roles. Everyone's starting to realize, okay, it's Kyrie Irving's team, and the minute you try to make it somebody else's team, like maybe Jason Tatum or even Al Horford, I know he's a veteran. If you try to make it one of their teams, it doesn't work. It needs to be Kyrie's team for them to work, and that's what they're proving right now. I don't know if you saw. I don't think you watched Game 1, but I saw highlights of it. And Boston just they ate Milwaukee in the first game at home in Milwaukee. That was an eye opener. But we've also seen Game 1s where teams look really nice. Look at Orlando. Like Orlando looked real nice in the first round against Toronto in Game 1. They beat them with that DJ Augustine 3, and then they got swept. Or they lost 4 in a row.
I will give you this. Last year, these two teams played. They won 7 games in the first round.
And you saw, last year, I remember Game 1 was a nail-biter because they had a couple times where you thought, Terry Rozier hit a 3, you thought the game was over, and then Chris Middleton came back, and he hit some deep range 3.
And that was all nice and dandy. But
they're different teams this year.
They're different teams, and there's one main reason is Kyrie Irving, and they can't solve him. Okay? They have Kyrie Irving. They got Gordon Hayward coming off the bench, and they got the Giannis stopper and Al Horford. Al Horford is on a mission right now to make it his priority to stop Giannis from doing whatever he wants. I even called it on the way from Montreal with our player, my homeboy Ahmed. Shout out to Ahmed. He played great this week, and I love the kid. He played really great defense. He said that there's no one that can stop Giannis. I said, all you got to do is get Giannis 22 points, slow him down, the game's done. What happened? How much he had? 22 points. 22 points. Giannis, Milwaukee are done. I know I might be calling early and, it's crazy, but they're done. Boston is not here to play around. They want to make it to the finals so they could get over this nonsense that's going on their team, and then eventually let Kyrie go off and Jay-Z go where he wants. They want to win a title just so he can leave.
Okay, so in Milwaukee's defense, okay, I get you put Al Horford as your center, your shot blocker, and that's what he did to Giannis already. He's already blocked him like really nasty, like really disgustingly. It was a nice block, but my thing is look at Giannis. He gets to the rim way too easily. Like there are guys in the league that like think they might have a chance on him. He'll take 1 Euro step over you, and then that's it. He's at the rim. Yeah. In the first round, this guy almost took off from the free throw line on a fast break. Like that would be ridiculous if you're doing that in the playoffs. My reason for taking Milwaukee is because I see Milwaukee. They set up a system like how LeBron had. They had a bunch of guys that could shoot the ball, and then you would have Giannis try to drive to the rim. You'd have Giannis drive to the rim and look for a kick out. Obviously, it's not LeBron, and obviously the players around him aren't Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, but they are good players. Chris Middleton is a very underrated player. First All-Star game. I know Malcolm Brogdon's been injured, so we're waiting for him too. But it's Eric Bledsoe that I don't really like in that system.
Let me give you this number. It's 8 against 2. It's 8 against 2. Who are the two from Milwaukee? Chris Middleton and Giannis, you said? Yeah. After that, no one else can step up if those two get dropped out. Boston could go. Kyrie injured, no problem. Jason Tatum's ready to go. He's not feeling it, Gordon Hayward go. Jaylen Brown, you're feeling it, go ahead. Al Horford, you're feeling it, go ahead. Morris, go ahead. Scary Terry, go ahead. That's my point. They got a deeper team. This Boston team was built to beat two teams and two teams only. But Toronto and Golden State. That's why they wanted this team to keep playing the way, and that's why they have Gordon Hayward coming off the bench. They're thinking light years ahead. They want to end Milwaukee early.
I get that.
It's done. Milwaukee, they're going to put up a fight, and I think it's going to go 6 games. Boston in 6.
Okay.
Boston in 6.
I'm still going to take Milwaukee in 7 because I think the way Giannis has played this year, he proved it to the league that he could be an MVP candidate. So we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Obviously, we all know playoffs are a lot different.
He's a Ben Simmons that can shoot mid-ranges.
But he's also like... His ability to get to the rim is just ridiculous.
It's great.
You're telling me that like we haven't seen players like that that can do it so easily.
He needs more. Look at KD. He
obviously, like he's playing in an era where the jump shot, like a 3-point shot, is like the most used thing in the league. Of course, he needs more. But you're telling me that if Giannis was in the '80s with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird,
that's different.
That's a different story. That's totally different. So that's what I'm saying. Give Giannis, let Giannis have his thing, because in a couple of years he's gonna be the guy in the league where everyone's gonna look.
This year it's not happening. He'll win MVP this year, okay?
Yeah,
and that'll be it.
I think
that'll be it. Maybe he might lose because James Harden wants it too. But
they both had really good years, so it's hard to.
Well, I know one guy that's not getting any awards because he got bodied and he deserved to get bodied, okay? And Giannis put him in his place. All right, we haven't even talked about them yet because they got the broom and the bat and the paddle to the behinds. All right, and now it's this goof. You see this goofball right here? You see this goofball? This is what you get for talking. You yap. Oh, Detroit's this, and look what happened. Swept.
Even with Blake Griffin playing those 2 games, they still got beat.
Swept. I want you to ask this question: is he or is he not a serious coach in the NBA?
He is, but like when I heard that stat that he's the first ever NBA coach to get swept in 3 years in a row in the playoffs, first or second round, that was a stat where I was like, that's probably not the best stat. Like,
right? And we'll be fair. Like the Detroit getting swept shouldn't count because Detroit, it wasn't a team built to really win anything this year. All right, it was a team that like, okay, you got Blake Griffin. Let's see where we go from there and then build from that.
Well, that's a 1 or 2 star.
But my dude you had one of the best teams for the last couple of years in Toronto. Yes, you had DeRozan as a star, but you're supposed to be a defensive wizard. You were hired because you stopped LeBron. Not because you're just a great defensive coach, but you stopped LeBron. So you were looked at as a guy that will help this team get over.
Finals.
With Dallas?
Yeah, with Dallas.
You look at that roster, you look at the Raptors roster, who do you take?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, So to me, it's like you... My dude, keep your mouth shut from now on. Don't talk to nobody. Don't say nothing about Toronto. Because guess who's in the second round and guess who's not? You're not. You're nowhere to be found. We are in the second round. So have fun in Detroit. We'll see you next year. You can try to beat us during the regular season all you want.
I would love to. I would love to beat you in the playoffs. Though, like I'm sorry, doing Casey. Like if there's one thing like next year that I want for the Raptors, whether Kawhi stays or not, if we are a playoff team, which I hope we could still be, even with Kawhi not being there, let's be in the playoffs because that would be the biggest. That would be the best revenge for us at least.
Yeah, no, that is so true. And you know what, Detroit, man, like I just don't like you. I never liked.
And even when you go to Detroit games versus Toronto, like how is that arena not filled with more?
Oh, you mean the Scotiabank Arena in Detroit?
in Detroit?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, the Little Caesars.
No.
Well,
It's called the Canadian Tire Arena, right? Because there's so much Canadians around the entire arena.
Yeah.
So it's called the Canadian Tire Arena.
That's exactly
so
what it is.
you have fun in Detroit. We'll see you at every home game, every time we play.
Yeah, regardless, home or road is still.
How do you feel that we have more fans than your fans in the building? Oh, this is a championship franchise. Championship franchise don't have other teams come in and kill them in attendance. So nice your beak.
Franchise that won a championship how many years ago now? It's been? I know.
Okay,
I know as a Raptors fan, I'm.
We haven't won, so
Yeah,
we
so I'm
won't
not gonna
talk
talk
on
that
that.
much shit, but 2004 is still a long time ago.
And that was all because of Brown.
And like that like all five of those players together became like a defensive unit that.
Oh yeah.
I think in basketball we had.
But I can see what they're trying to do in Detroit.
No, I
with
totally
Casey.
agree.
But like, until you win something, my dog, I don't want to hear you.
Well,
I don't want to see you. Don't want to be you.
Let's talk about another team that hasn't won anything, but you know,
No.
it seems like this year we might be talking different. I'm talking about the Raptors. Actually,
I know. No.
I don't know.
But
this is not the year. You don't think this is
This
the year? of the Raptors?
this is the year. I don't
This
know what
has
it
to
is.
be the
I'm
year.
feeling it. I feel a different vibe. I know it's 1-1 now in the series.
Yeah.
But I'll say like this. I looked at the stats for game 2 for Philly and Toronto. Philly needed about 7 guys to go double figures. 6 to 7 guys.
In game 2.
In game 2 in order to beat Toronto.
And Toronto had a horrible shooting night.
Terrible. And you had Kyle Lowry and Kawhi and Siakam still get 20 points plus each. And you only beat the Raptors by how much?
4 points, 5 points.
If you only could beat them by 4 points.
Joel made a great with 24 seconds to go. He got to the post, made a nice spin move on. Up and in and out on Mark. He just pump faked and then went in, nice layup, and that was what ended up being the real dagger in the Raptors fans' heart. But he doesn't make that layup. We're looking at a different story.
Probably.
Because if Danny Green makes that 3 at the end of the game too, right?
Yeah, we tie, go
We
to
tie,
overtime, and
go
probably win the
overtime.
game.
Yeah.
So that's why I look at it. I'm like, you know what, Toronto. I'm picking them to win in 6. Philly's gonna put up some fight. Jimmy Butler plays some ball.
Yeah.
But to me, I just don't think Philly has enough. I look at it and I'm like, yo, Toronto defensive. Like Siakam struggled and he still got 20 plus points.
Yeah, and apparently I don't know if you heard the press conference afterwards. Not even the press conference. It was like right after the game. I think was it TNT that talked to Joel, and Joel said, "Yeah, we did a good job on Pascal." But then I looked at Pascal's numbers and I'm like, "Yo, I know he didn't drop a 30 piece on you like the first game.
He had a bad percentage.
But he had a bad percentage because Joel fronted him every chance. Like we watched the game, every chance he got, Joel fronted him right before he got to the key. So for Pascal to do what Pascal's good at, which is using his line to get to the rim, he couldn't because he had Joel.
Hey, but you know what? I'll say this about Siakam. For a young player to struggle still and still get 21 points, to me that says you are going to be like there's players in the league that they don't give you a couple big stats or one big year and you're like that's it. With him, you can just see the growth every time he touches
and also we have to take it in now. The Raptors are gonna make adjustments, just like Brett Brown and the 76ers made adjustments after game 1 to put players like Joel and Pascal. You don't think that Nick Nurse is gonna come back and be like, all right, how am I gonna get my second best offensive player going? Because they know that if he gets locked down, the Raptors are in trouble for sure.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The reason why the Raptors lost is because I didn't wear no lucky piece. I was at work. I wasn't wearing it. I'm being serious. I'm being that serious. Ever since I've been wearing my Raptors piece, they've been undefeated. I didn't wear it last night and they lost, and I was pissed. And that's why I realized I'm wearing it 24/7. Well, not 24/7.
Well, at least for all games.
So best believe for game 3, which is Wednesday.
Thursday. Yeah, I know.
Well, actually, I'm gonna still watch it, but
Thursday and then game 4 is on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I'm wearing it. If I'm not watching the game, I'm wearing my piece. I'm gonna support them.
So what's your final
Final prediction.
Yeah.
Raptors in 6, man.
I'm going to take Raptors in 5, actually. I think they go to
Ooh.
Philadelphia. They put on their defensive clinic. They show teams that, like, this is a defensive-minded team, and that's where they start. And once they click into their defense, they're not stoppable. And I'm sorry, but, like, when it comes from the basketball gods, I don't think the Raptors are shooting, what was it, 4 for, like, 20-something from 3? That's not going to happen again. You think that's happening in Philadelphia? You're crazy. Because then that means the Raptors are literally like, we don't care about threes. We're just gonna go in the building, get some mid range, like how we used to with DeRozan, and try to win. No, that's not happening. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
If the Raptors play defensively, if they hit their shots, I don't think this series is. I think they could have swept them, but because they had a night like last night where the ball just wasn't going in. Like,
yeah, no, it was a struggle.
like how many times did the ball go in and out of the rim? I couldn't believe. Like even Danny Green's shot at the end, it goes in and comes out.
It's basketball, man.
But it's basketball. You can't.
Don't fight back. Don't
Exactly.
use their shots. They do really well on the road. I think
Yeah.
the Raptors. If the
They're one of
Raptors
the better
win
road
2 in
teams.
Philly, then it's a wrap.
Yeah.
If they go 1-1, I
In
think
five, obviously.
yeah they'll win it in 6. But you know what? Toronto's gonna make a run. I think this is their year.
It has to be.
I think teams like the Warriors and Rockets should be scared. And Portland should be scared.
I think every team should be worried about the Raptors.
Yeah, because Kawhi ain't here to play. Kawhi is the best player in the league. He's the
Top
best
3
player.
scorer
He's the
in the
best
league as
player
well.
in the league.
He's all around. He can do whatever you need to. Like you see a lot of guys that are very defensive minded players. Like look at Andre Roberson
Yeah.
in OKC. You see how much energy this guy uses to play defense on the best players on the other side. That he has no room to work on his offensive game. But look at Kawhi. Kawhi has guarded Ben Simmons in both games and has dropped 30 plus in both.
He's killing it.
You're
He's a
telling me
killer.
like players can't do that? Yo.
No, it's true.
It's
No,
unfair almost.
he's a different breed. He's doing things that Michael was doing, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we won't go too far.
No, we won't go too into
But
it,
I will say this: Kawhi is definitely the real deal. This playoffs is going to be interesting. I'm itching to watch some basketball because like I've been way too busy. So I'm hoping I can because like life is just. That's all I know. But anyways, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it. Right? Oh yeah, we got the last slide, and I know John's gonna kick us off soon. So, thank you guys for watching another episode.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
As always, like.
And subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and like. Give us comments. We love criticism.
Let us know, hey, whatever questions you want to ask us.
Yes,
Please
please.
feel free to.
Yes, and then we will talk about it, debate, and we'll call you out.
And then we'll see you next time on Extra Step.
Yes. See you later.